Hello everybody, welcome to the Craps Journey podcast. My name is Aaron and this is episode number 60. Today I just wanted to revisit the Baccarat target 3 play that I like, the concept that I like. When I'm not playing craps, I'm playing Baccarat. And the reason why is because I got asked a question over on Heavy's Axis Power Craps. Scouts asked me a question, actually a few questions about this play that I've been doing for a little while now, that I found from Seth Theobau over at, I'll drop the link in the show notes. This is a video, by the way, for those that are listening on a podcast catcher that is not displaying video. If you want to see the video, head over to crapsjourney.com/060 and you'll be able to watch the video there, or it's on YouTube. Just search for Craps Journey, you'll find me. So Scout asks, with this play that I described in one of the previous podcasts, go back and check it out, is following a large string of bad decisions. So you make a decision, you're picking a banker or a player and you're just playing that exclusively. And should you be backing, in this case, player, saying here you're betting $5 on player, you've got a decision of a banker. Whoops, for $10 of player, you got a decision of banker. Whoops. $15 of the player. That should really be 20 or more for that third one there. And you get a banker. And then you get another banker. So you've dropped down to your 5, and then your 5 and your banker. So you banker. Which happens, you get a huge run of the opposite side. What do? Well, I just keep playing that $5 minimum until I kick over. Or if I'm at the $1 minimum, I'll play $1 minimum. I don't play any higher than that. I'm usually just a $1, $2.50 or $5 minimum. And then I ratchet up my exposure from there. But I usually don't go higher than that on a base bet. So basically, the answer to your question is that you continuously keep betting that $5 or you just pause. It's up to you how you want to play it. I know that the Stratocaster man, he just pauses and doesn't bet those decisions. So say you've got a run of 10 that's going on, he will have probably been in for the first 3 and then just waited for the next 7 until it turns. And then you just keep going from that. It's up to you whether you play it or you don't. I know that when I'm using particular apps or software that you have to play, otherwise you don't get a hand. If you're by yourself, you have to play, otherwise you don't get a hand. So that's just how it is. So it's up to you what you do, but I just play it out. I do play every hand in the shoe if I can, but if it's totally burning me and going against me, then I'm happy to walk away. So three burns and I'm out. That's not my shoe, and to come back to fight another day. That's okay. That's fine. It's up to you how you want to play it. And if you lose the 2 recovery bets after that two attempts, then what do? Well, I try and recover it at another point. If it's burning me, then I'll just abort that. So basically, let's go back and have a bit of a play. So this is my current bankroll for this session is 2841, and let's start a new shoe, and I'll use a $5 base bet as the example, and we'll play banker on this shoe. So first hand is a tie, so I'll just rebet that. The usual play is that on a tie, you can treat it as a loss because you effectively haven't won. Even though you didn't lose, you didn't win either. So you could treat it as a loss, and I just don't treat it as anything. But if you wanted to, you could treat a tie as a loss. So that was a $5 loss, so I'm going to be in increments of my base unit, which is 5. So I'm going to go just +1 on this. So we're there. So we've recovered our original bet. So our target bet has been reached, and we'll drop back to our original base bet. So it's base bet plus whatever your choice is. So are you going +1, +2, +3, +4, +5 units? It's up to you what you do as your spread. So I'm just going to do +1 in this example and see where it leads us. So we lost on the original base bet, so we're just going to go +1. So we'll go to 10. Good, lost there again, so we're down again. Now for me, that's it for this. This is stage 1. So that's a loss in stage 1. So from there, I'm going to be able to then basically drop back to my base bet, because we're looking for pairs. Go back to my original video if you haven't seen it. So basically, this is the example that Scout was talking about. It's the perfect example. I just keep betting the 5 until it turns on me. It's against me at the moment. Until it turns on me, I just keep betting. See, perfect example. All right, just keep going. Nothing you can do. If I don't bet, I don't play. So there's a tie. I treat that same. Don't do anything. Just keep it going. So what have we got? Oh, yes, look at that. It's turned. So now I would add all that up. So we're 15, 20, 25, 30. So we're 30 in the hole. So then I would go to 35 because I'm just doing my +1. Okay, there you go. Got lucky. So that's a recovery on stage 2. So I'm happy to take it to the third stage. And then, because I've got a bit of bankroll there, I can do that. And ultimately, the more stages that you can have, obviously, it's a mini martingale, right? We're doing a mini martingale. So we're trying to reduce our exposure. We're not going to go gangbusters and go to 13 levels, which I know there was a guy on the internet. I got his book a long time ago. I can't remember his name now. He actually got me onto the Target 3 play. But anyway, I can't remember his name now. So anyway, so we've had our recovery, drop back to the base bet 5, and now we're just going up by 1 unit at a time. So the more bankroll that you've got, the more flexibility that you've got to be able to increase your spread and then increase the amount of stages that you can do for your recovery. Okay, so there was a 10. We had a loss on that. So I just did a recovery. Now I've got my recovery. Now I'm back. Base bet. And then we start again. So we're on stage 1 again. And we just go +1. So I've got the bankroll here where I could easily increase to a spread of, say, 5 units. And then when you're on a positive swing, like what this is here, or was, then you could go, say, 3 times on a positive swing. It's up to you what you do. It's totally flexible and how you want to play it. You'll find your comfort zone, and it's a grind, and you just grind it out. So there's a recovery again. So we'll drop back to the base bet. So that was $5 base bet lost. Let's try for a 10. There's another loss. So that's our stage 1. Back to the base bet. Right, that's a loss. We just keep going at that loss. So we're at 20 loss, 25 loss. So this is a perfect example of what Scout was asking. Okay, now we've got our recovery. So we're at 25, so we're going to do a 30. I was wanting it to fail so I could show you the next stage. So that's a recovery. That's always the way, isn't it? So now we're going back to the base bet. So we haven't got past stage 2 yet. Let's see. We're at player 14 and banker 10. So it's still in player's favour, but only by 4. So let's try. There you go. So that's a recovery. So we just pull back. So we're not going to make a great deal of money with this. You have to increase your spread for that. And obviously, the more bankroll you've got, the bigger your spread. The bigger your spread, the higher volatility. The higher volatility means the further you can go, but also the further you can go backwards as well. So you've got to be careful. Try and find a middle ground. So I just wanted to revisit this just to answer the questions from Scout. But now that we've sort of got that done, okay, so we've had a loss. Now I'm going to go up to a 25. So I'm increasing the amount of the stages. So my spread has increased. So normally I would have done 15. Now I'm doing a 25. So I've done a +3 units on that. So for me now, pull back to the base unit. So I'm 35 in the hole. Now I'm 40 in the hole. And you just keep that running tally in your head as it goes. Right, so there's a win. So I'm at 40. So I'm going to try 50. And I should have gone even 55 if I had wanted to. That's a tie, so we'll just replay that. Okay, good. That's a loss. Now I'm heading into the second part of stage 2. So now 50 is there. So what do I have to do to recover the 40 from before and the 50 from there? Well, that's 90. So I'm going to do 100 to cover it. And also because I've got a little bit of that bank commission that's being shaved off it. Great, here, we're into stage 3. This is my final stage. So we've failed on the first stage, tried to do a recovery, failed on the second stage. Now we're ready for the third stage. So we're heading into stage 3, and I'm 200 down. So if I hadn't have increased my spread, it would have been reduced down, reduced. And you need to work out that if I go to 3 stages and I was playing a $5, it'll be probably around $200 to do the 3 stages. So you need to picture your bankroll at that initial bankroll to cover for that. How many times of those 3 stages are you got to sit there and get slapped in the face before you walk away? So for me, it's just 3 times, but for you, it might be something else. So let's go through it now. So we've had a recovery there. So we know we're 200 down. So we're going to do 2. I could add more at this stage, but I'm going to play conservative. Well, there's another loss. And now, do I walk away from this? Yes, I would. That just didn't work for me. Or am I going to go one more time, second part, stage 3, part B? Am I going to do a 400 bet? In this case, I will, just to show the example. And I was lucky and got the recovery. Of course, I could have bit the dust on that, and that would have been the end of that. But then you need to know, where am I going to pull it out, pull up stumps and say, that is it, I'm done with this shoe. That's it, I'm out. Or walk away, try it again. It's up to you what you do. So let's see where we were before that cycle hit, which is excellent that it showed. So we were at 2894, went through stage 1, then we went through stage 2 with the 50 and the 100. Then we went through stage 3 and got it on stage 3. And so we are 2894, 2893. The bank commissions just ate us a little bit on that. And I should have increased a little bit more on that 400. But ultimately, it's a very clear-cut 3-level system that you can play more levels, of course, but you're only going to hurt yourself in the end. It's better to walk away and then come back and grind it back slowly. Much, much better. So in this case, if I want to go from 5 to 25, I'm going on a time, plus 5 units. And what happens then is that, yes, you get the whipsaw against the volatility, that you're going to get more negative, but you're also going to get more positive, because we just jumped ahead there. And then we can say, rightio, we'll just go to 30 on the next one. You can dice it up too. It's up to you. So in this one, we're 30, so I'll jump to 20. Get that recovery, and then up to you. Do you then, on a recovery, pull back to your base bet, or say, well, okay, I just got a recovery. I'm going to just increase my recovery bet to 10, which just pushes me further, that little bit further each time. So that allows you to just, I'm showing you the flexibility that you can have with the variables here. So we had 10, then we go to 25. Okay, that didn't work. That did work. So then we're going to recover. We're in a recovery cycle. So there you go. Try it for 10. No, try it for 25 again, because that's 3. What's that? That's 3 units more. Okay, I didn't get that. So that's my first stage again. So I'm 35 in the hole. Now I went back to 5 on that because I'm now sorry, I said it wrong before. I'm now in a recovery section here. So I've dropped back to 5 rather than the 10 after I got my target hit. So we just keep playing base units until we win. There we go. 35, 40. So here I'm going to go 50. So this is the stage 2. No, that didn't work. Stage 2B, and add an extra 10. Could even add an extra 25. There's a recovery there. So then we're back to, and because we actually got that recovery, we got our target, we can drop back to 10 and then back to 25, and it just cycles it through like that. And the way of and that was a loss there on that stage 1. So I'm going to pull back to my base unit. I'm not gonna waste money doing $10 when I'm just happy doing $5 after that recovery set. So let's do a 50 on that. That's our next play on that. Oh, that's a shame. 8 to 7. Sorry, let's do 110, which is stage 2B. Here we go. We're into stage 3. So we're going to now look for stage 3. Here we go, straight into stage 3. So all in total there, we're talking about 215. So I'll do 225. Ooh, there you go, 1 to 7. So got us back at stage 3A. And because that was a recovery bet, a target bet that was met, we can drop to $10 and back to the 25 again, and so on. So it just keeps ratcheting itself forwards. And yes, you will take a regression where we had before, which if that hadn't have played out, that stage 3B, if that hadn't have played out, we would have regressed and then we would have ground our way back up. So where are we up to? 10, 25. So you can see, because I've got some bankroll there, I can expand my exposure. So there we had a recovery. Sorry. Yeah, the target hit. Drop back to 10. Oh, double tie. You love it when that happens. All right, so we're down 10. So we go back to the 25. We haven't had a run. This is not a banker shoe, is it? I should look it up. 34 to 25. Oh, jeez. No, it is not a banker shoe, this one. So we're in full recovery mode, so I'll drop back to my $5 base unit. Definitely a player shoe. So we're already fighting it hard. So we're at 35, 40, 45, and another tie. So might as well just play this one out. So we'll try for the 50 recovery. It's really forcing us up. We'll try the stage 2B. There we go, got it on stage 2B. And because we got our target, drop down to the 10. Now let's see where we're at. So 37 to 28, the shoe's nearly complete. We started with 2841. We are now at 3031. So that's nearly $200. So for a heavy player shoe, still getting $200 out. Of course, I did increase my spread. Probably only would have got about $100 out if I didn't. And from here, we can then go up in units of 10, which is what we were saying before. So on a positive swing, we can go up in units of 10 instead of units of 1 that we were on before, just to try and spread it out just that little bit more. So there's a 30 down. Let's try a 50 recovery on that. Got that in stage 1. Got the target. And now back to the 10 again. Oh, last card. There's that. Great. So let's see if we get a winning number at the end. Let's check our heat map. 38 to 31. Yeah, not too bad. Still player dominant. Did we get the last hand? Yeah, nah. Okay, tie. And that's effectively the game. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that, and that gives a little bit more insight into the play. And I look forward to catching you on the next podcast. Once again, subscribe to get all the back catalogue and keep up to date with new episodes that come along. I've got some great crap stuff coming with my new table that I showed off before. So look forward to talking to you again. Bye.